Hello again, fellow BeachBum traders. Today we want to do our due diligence on Zoom video communications as of January 5th, 2022. So I'm on the website of Zoom Video. I'm sure most of you are familiar with Zoom. You've probably spent some to a lot of time on Zoom meetings, webinars, etc. So we want to look at it as stock to buy, stock to watch. So I'm on their website just to get a high-level view. Again, I'm sure most people are familiar with it. They do video meetings, video webinars. They also have a Zoom phone that's getting some traction. You can see they have a developer platform, so other people can leverage their APIs, develop for their Zoom platform. They have these Zoom rooms, events and webinars, Zoom for Home, etc. And we know they've done a lot with online education as well. So we can see reviews, testimonials, etc. Security, partners security, etc. We can see, their social media presence is pretty good. So let's do our due diligence in terms of the stock. Okay, I'm on the profile page for Zoom Video Communications in Chartmill. You can find our affiliate link for Chartmill in the description box below. You can go to the homepage of Chartmill and search for Zoom or put it into the URL. We find Chartmill a great tool to start our due diligence as it covers a wide variety of areas. We can see, Zoom has been beaten up early this year as all the growth stocks took a beating, and that made it more attractive from a price standpoint. So we wanted to do our due diligence on it to see if this was a stock we wanted to watch, stock we wanted to buy. See, the technical analysis rating is poor right now. Again, the setup is not great because, again, it's taken a beating very recently. We can see the fundamental analysis overall is 4 out of 5, looks good. Valuation's a little low. Again, it's a high PE, it's come down. Profitability is very positive, health positive, growth still positive. We'll look at a detailed chart. We can see it came way down over the past month or so. Again, as growth stocks came out of favor, increasing interest rates, bond yields, etc. Taking all the growth stocks took a hit, so again, the valuations become more attractive. So we can see their profile. They IPO'd in 2019. Again, most people, I'm sure, are familiar with Zoom. They do meetings, phone chat, rooms, conference, video, webinars. Yeah, we're going to talk more about enterprise stuff later on. Some of my experience and views on where Zoom may be going, some additional opportunities, I believe. Again, I just want to highlight out this conference room connector thing, and we're going to talk about the enterprise opportunity. And then we also know online education, etc. So it has been branded a lockdown stock, so it also seesaws with the lockdown reopening trades. Again, I think, in the future, again, I'll talk about the future for Zoom, in my opinion, towards the end. But I think this oscillation, this seesawing action, will eventually stabilize and reach a steady state in the future. So now we'll look at more detail, the charts, analysis, etc. for Zoom in a second. Okay, if we look at the stock chart in Chartmill, you can see again it's had a steady decline in the recent past. It bounced off this lower trend line. Again, it looks like it's about to touch that. You see it's in a downward channel. Again, we know Zoom has been lumped in with all the other growth stocks, all the lockdown stocks, and has had a steady decline. we'll see. It looks like it may be approaching a nice support level there. And again, we'll look at the technical analysis tab. So let's see what Chartmill thinks of the technical analysis. Again, we know it's probably not going to be very good right now. Volume, yeah, short term, yeah. So again, it's saying the setup is a 6. Again, the setup right now is it's declining, but this says it does present a nice setup opportunity. So that's good. The support zone below the current price at 179.84. So again, it looks like it may be reaching a stable support, which is what we're looking for. Reach a stable support, turn up, break the VWAP, etc. So if we look at the fundamental analysis for Zoom, looks good, very positive, 8 out of 10, profitable. That's one of the things that attracted us to Zoom is, unlike most of the growth stocks and the tech stocks, etc., Zoom is actually profitable. They're making a lot of money, and we'll see that when we go over to fitness. So I think that makes Zoom a standout in the tech area, growth stock areas, as they are profitable. They're making money. Valuation's a little low. Again, it had a very high price to earning. It ran up, and it's coming down as the price comes down, as their earnings improve. So there's potential opportunities in the future. Growth, very positive, 7 out of 10. So it still has a lot of growth potential. So that, again, should help the PE ratio. Health, the financial health of the company, again, very positive. The Alpha Z score is very positive. So again, they're very financially healthy, not really at risk, unlike potentially some of the other tech growth stocks. Again, they're profitable, they're making money, they're not at a financial risk, so they're stable even in a raising interest rate environment. So again, I see that as all being very positive. Analyst ratings very positive, 76% positive. Strong buys and holds, so very few sells. So again, even though the stock price sentiment seems to have been very negative recently, all the analysis, all the stock analysts are still very bullish, very positive. So that seems like that might be a disconnection. Is all the analysis says positive, but the sentiment recently has been negative. We can see estimates of financials, and again, we can look at this in Webull in more detail. I like Webull's charts a little bit, but we can see the revenue increasing, EPS stable, increasing in the farther out future, and yearly EPS again pretty just stable. Okay, so we'll see the financials, etc. in Webull when we get there. It's a little easier to see there. Okay, let's take a quick look at Zoom and FinViz. You can find our affiliate link to FinViz in the description box below. Again, another great tool for due diligence, etc. I'm on the profile for Zoom video. You can just search for Zoom or put it in the URL, and also I've got the direct link in the description box below for Zoom's profile. So we can see the daily chart. Again, we can see this downward channel. We can see it's kind of touching that bottom trend line. It did a kind of a hammer off that bottom trend line. If I quickly zoom out to the weekly chart, see what level of support we're reaching. So again, it looks like in this 180 area, it looks like there's some potential support that was borne out with in Chartmill. Said there was a support around that 79 level. We can see their metrics. Again, I want to point out, they've got almost $4 billion in sales and $1 billion in income. So again, and there's their PE, their PEG. Again, their PEG ratios a little high. That's why the valuation was a little undesirable, but they're making a lot of money. That's, again, very positive. They have no debt. We see the shares outstanding. Okay, it's not heavily shorted. We see target prices in the 300 range. So we can see, from here, we've got a nice risk-reward opportunity. 180 to, 400 is a 2-to-1, and then we've got 588 or so. 3 to 1, etc. So attractive, attractive reward to risk. Metrics look good. Still see a lot of flags for positive or negative for news. We saw their profile. We can see a brief look at their earnings, increasing EPS, increasing revenue. Again, all very attractive. Again, and I'll talk about this again later, but it's been branded with the growth stocks, the tech stocks, most of which are not profitable, the software, etc., whereas Zoom is highly profitable. Their revenues are growing, their EPS is growing, etc. So I think that makes it attractive. So now we'll look in Seeking Alpha, etc., and see if we see anything else before we can make a decision. Okay, now I'm on the profile for Zoom Video Communications and Seeking Alpha. You can find this direct link in the description box below, or you can go to Seeking Alpha, put Zoom in the search bar, etc. So let's just take a quick look and see if we see anything that stands out. We can see analysis. Recent analysis says it's a good long-term buy with limited short-term upside, so it looks like a long-term investment possibility or a short-term swing scalp. You can see buying opportunity, buy for 2022, positive, stay at home. So we can see just briefly if we see anything else that's major positive or negative. So we can see their ratings at Seeking Alpha says Wall Street's bullish, neutral. Say valuation again. Its valuation is its weak point, but growth, profitability are very positive. Look at the revenue; it's growing annually, quarterly, kind of flat. So near-term flat, long-term positive. Earnings, again, pretty much flat, but in the future improving. So we can see some of the other metrics. Valuation, again, we know the P is kind of high, but profitability is good, growth's good. They're showing some debt, very high in enterprise value, high institutional ownership, which is very attractive. Again, we've talked about institutional ownership and the fact that institutions tend not to sell as quickly. Also, it looks like there's a good chunk of insider ownership. Again, very positive, 22% insider ownership, that's good. The Altman Z is very positive. Again, that's good. Not heavily shorted. Beta is slightly negative, so it's going to move just pretty much with the market, but slightly down, negative inverse correlation to the market. Cash flow, again, very positive. They're flowing a lot of cash, which is great. EPS is good. So again, so far, solvency is good. Everything looks positive so far. Okay, you may or may not be aware that ARK Invest, Kathy Wood, hold a large position in Zoom, and I wanted to show you their position, and let's listen to and see some of ARK and Kathy's views on Zoom and see what we think of all that. So I went to Lucid Tracking, and I'll put a link to this website in the description box below. You can look up ARK's positions in all their ETFs and Lucid Tracking, and you can see their daily buys and sells for the recent history. And if I search on Zoom, we can see ARK holds about 5 million shares in their ARK-K, their innovation ETF, and another million shares. I think that's their internet. Yes, their internet ETF. So ARK has been maintaining a large position in Zoom. It's oscillating a little bit, but around that 5 million shares at ARK-K and 1 million in ARK-W. So let's listen to what Kathy has to say about Zoom and where she sees them going in the future. Okay, I'm going to try to include a small snippet from a video that Kathy Wood ARK invested back in October, and I'll put the link to this direct time at about 35 minutes in this video where she really talks about their outlook on the future of Zoom. You'll hear this is preceded and succeeded by some discussion of the failed 5-9 merger back in October and their views on that. We'll also talk in a minute how I see that as a potential opportunity, although that failed merger with 5-9, I believe, created the impetus for the initial downfall or decline in Zoom. Again, I see there's a potential opportunity for a future catalyst because of that. But let's try to listen to what Kathy has to say on their view in Zoom. And again, it's about 35 minutes into here, 35 to 36 minutes, and I'll leave the link to the direct time in the description box below.
Outlook. We really do believe Zoom is the new fabric, which is pulling together the new communications ecosystem, enterprise communications. The COVID launched this movement, and we're in very early stages, and we believe Zoom it has the best technology and has the best shot at winning this winner take most game. Enterprise communications in the enterprise tech stack is the largest part of the tech stack. Globally, I think it's $1.4 trillion. And we have very old infrastructure that we believe now with the hybrid work in this digital world is going to transform completely. And we think, as I mentioned, Zoom has a very good shot at being the leader. So we wrote a piece, and William Summerlin, who with Andrew Kim put together that report, linked to a Cleary Gottlieb piece about the proxy solicitation firms and how institutional investors are abdicating their responsibilities as shareholders to.
Okay, I wanted to also share with you how you can find these articles that ARK has done on Zoom that Kathy mentioned in the preceding YouTube article. If you go to ark-invest.com and you just do a search for Zoom, and I'll include the link to the search results in the description box below, but you can see a variety of articles they've done on research on Zoom, and you can read those in more detail. But here's this latest one that she referred to about Zoom being the fabric connecting global enterprise communications. And if we click on that link, and again, you can read some of the other past articles they've done on Zoom. They've done some good research on Zoom. Again, if we jump over to this article about it being the fabric of global enterprise communication and the future of work, and I'll again include the direct link to this article in the description box below so you can read it in more detail. They talk about the merger, etc. But then again, you can see the hybrid and remote adoption statistics that they reference and their projections of those. And again, I will add my commentary in just a minute, but and they talk about a unified communications. So some of the things ARK is talking about is, enterprise communications, remote work, hybrid work, unified communications, and again, you can read the details. Okay, so here they're referencing some of the competitors, Cisco WebEx, Google, Zoom, here's some Gartner reviews, etc. Again, you can look at this in more detail for yourself and read this article in full. So I just wanted to provide you with quick access to this information, a lot of good detailed information herein. Okay, I wanted to just quickly add some of my personal experience and views on Zoom and these communications, enterprise communications, remote work, etc. I have used these video communication and voice communication tools for years, including Skype, Team, Amazon Chime, WebEx, etc. And I find Zoom to be a good technology. In fact, I've worked with a defense contractor technology company that also has Microsoft Teams. They use Microsoft Skype, Skype for Business, and for any sizable conference, they still use Zoom because Skype, Teams, etc., the performance and the capacity just isn't there, so they also have to use Zoom. So when they talk about the competition here, again, they show the performance. Zoom has an edge, and also in the preference peer reviews. Zoom ranks higher than Google, Teams, WebEx, again, Amazon Chime, Skype, etc. So even companies that are using Teams, like I said, I've got personal experience with a company that's trying to use Teams for their all hands, large meetings. They also use Zoom. So I don't think it's as Kathy says, a winner take most. I think you're going to see a hybrid in there. I also see Zoom as great potential for remote work. Again, most people have experience with Zoom. Kids are learning how to take classes, virtual schooling on Zoom. Another thing I want to point out with the enterprise communications is I've seen a large technology defense contractor. They installed very clunky, very expensive hardware in all their conference rooms, and it was not very reliable. The performance wasn't great. And again, now with people working remotely, that investment is not needed. All you need is a TV and a PC and a Zoom connection, and you can have your conference with in-house or remote work from anywhere. So I think, again, we talked about, the lockdown versus reopening seesaw, but I believe in the future we will reach a steady state where some percentage of the workforce will be working remotely. Some percentage will be working in various locations around the world. And Zoom is a great way to connect those remote workers, same way for schooling, etc. So I believe this type of technology will be embedded in our lives, and I believe that Zoom will play a role in that, at least in the near term. So that's my personal experience and views on Zoom. So let's see, from a stock perspective, this is something we want to watch and or buy. Okay, I'm now on the stocks page in the online browser version of Webull. You can get our affiliate link and get your copy of Webull and get 2 or more free stocks in the description box below. Again, if you've listened to our weekly trading game plans for the past couple of weeks, we've had Zoom on our watch list. We'll talk about the chart in a moment, but I just want to expand the lower panel a second and go through, the tabs, and let's see what we see that Webull has to say about some of the due diligence we can do here. We can see the news. Again, I like the financial graphs in Webull. So if we see some of the financial graphs, we can see they've outperformed income. We can quickly look at balance sheet, outperformed in balance sheet, cash flow. Again, outperformed except recently on cash flow, so they underperformed a little bit, and again, that might explain the recent decline. Financial ratios, again, they're a little low on the financial ratios. So we can look in detail, income. So there's your net income, revenue, it looks increasing. Revenue, again, increasing. And operating income. So again, we can look at each of these. Again, the balance sheet looks increasing. Very low debt, looks good. And cash flow looks like it had a dip we saw, and then it's restoring going forward. So that looks good. We look at the analysis. So again, we see A lot of holds here in Webull saying it's a buy based on 33 analysts. A lot of holds, some buys, some strong buys, very few sells. So that gives us a good view on the information. So now if we look at their chart, and again, as I mentioned, we've had Zoom on our watch list for several weeks, and we can see, it came down to the support level. In full disclosure, on January 4th, which is yesterday, we went long on Zoom. When it made this dip and came in this support range, you can see where our target price was, which was a previous support. So when it came, made this turn, it reached the support, turn, broke VWAP, we went long. So we are now long Zoom. I don't think you necessarily missed the boat. It may have some additional downside. It does look like it's reached some support. That hopefully it will maintain and turn up. But again, you probably haven't missed the boat on Zoom, and it has plenty of upside potential, as we've seen in the FinViz chart. So again, we've been watching Zoom. Full disclosure, we are now long Zoom. I think there's still opportunity here. Yes, there's some potential downside. Growth stocks are under a lot of pressure, but again, and tech stocks are, the NASDAQ tech stocks, growth stocks are under a lot of pressure, so there's some downside risk, but there's also a lot of upside potential reward here. And again, as we listen to Kathy talked about the future of Zoom, we see a lot of long-term benefit, potential profit opportunity in the long run. So we think Zoom is a good long-term investment. Short-term, it may be a bumpy ride, but in the long run, we see a lot of positive reward in Zoom. So we hope this all helps. We hope that you like this video. Please smash the thumbs up button if you like this video, and please subscribe to our BeachBum Trading channel. If you are not already a subscriber, please share this video with your fellow trading BeachBum traders and traders around the world. Please hit the bell icon to be notified of future videos, and please watch for other similar videos. Please leave your feedback on this due diligence in the comments box below or on our Facebook group, and we look forward to hearing from you. We hope this all helps. Good luck and have a great trading day. Bye.
Thank you again for watching our video. We hope that you liked it. If so, please smash the like button, give us a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing to our BeachBum Trading YouTube channel. Please share this video with your fellow traders and friends. And please give us your feedback and any recommendations for improvement in the comments section below. And let us know what else we can do to help you in your trading career. Thank you again, good luck, and have a great trading day.